Well, well, well.
So Big Brother 26 is off to a hot start. Uh,
So hot. We are back,
like,
baby.
like I feel so bad for the people who only watch the episodes because right now they have no clue all of the madness, the chaos, the entertainment that we've been getting since the live feeds went up. And it's just brilliant. But before we get to that, welcome to the latest episode of Wicked Unscripted, where we have unscripted conversations about some of the most popular reality shows on television. Forgot to breathe. My name is Abigail Adams.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're here, obviously, to break down not just the 2-night premiere of Big Brother 26, but a lot of what has been going on the live feed so far. This is going to be a little bit of a different format than what we do moving forward this season. It's because partly night 1 and night 2 were such busts. There was no way we could just come in.
No,
And
and so
do
spoiler
anything.
alerts right off the top. We're gonna have to talk and sprinkle in spoilers throughout, just because the feeds are really what kept us entertained this week. But we'll talk about the episode, but the feeds and we're like what we know to be going on in the house really seems to be the truly entertaining part.
Totally. Well, let's go through nights 1 and 2
Mhm.
just to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
So for anybody who may have missed it or in case you forgot, both nights featured 8 house guests going in. And then they each played their own separate sets of upgrade and downgrade competitions based on how they voted for AI Ainsley. I mean, I feel like there's a lot to kind of touch on here, anyways. Like, first of all, I'm curious to see what Ainsley's impact is going to be on the house long term. Obviously, we kind of don't really know yet, but like, it, I don't know. I have lots of racing thoughts about it because it's such an easy thing for producers to game. So I'm a little stressed about it, but like, I don't know. I
Oh,
think
that's
there's lots of
exactly what's gonna
opportunities
happen.
for good
A-
things. But
Ainsley is just like the reason for the twist. It's just this cheesy thing. We're not getting a 17th house guest. It was all a ruse. It was
I knew it
just
wasn't because in the
this.
press release it said that it was going to be a cast of all new house guests. So it's like when that says that, that to me screamed nobody's coming, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, we're getting someone!" And I was like,
But that was the other thing too. So in someone's intro package too, they said me and 16 other house guests. And I was like, did they tell them they were competing against 17 people? Or there's 17 people
I mean,
total?
they could have, and it just could be somebody who doesn't know the game. I didn't pick that up, so that's a good point.
Mm,
Could have just been whoever said that is like not very well versed in the game. It was just like la
maybe.
la la. So that was my first thing. Tucker was the first person to enter the house. It was something he
Willingly.
said.
I
Yeah,
love the little tussle. Loved
I
the tussle.
I also really I mentioned this in my TikTok coverage of this. I really liked that he compared it to like the Babe Ruth curse that the Red Sox broke. To be fair, it took the Red Sox 86 years to break that curse. So I don't know if Tucker fares incredibly well, but it's fun because I like that he is aware of it. He wants to play into it. He wants to have fun with it. I hope he breaks it. Partially because he's one of my winner picks for my draft.
Hmm.
So I would love to see that. But I thought that was a fun little way to kind of talk about the curse. And I think
I'm a little
it's
too
a lot.
superstitious for that. I feel like I said this in the draft too, that when he was talking about doing this, I'm like, we just, don't threaten the BB gods. They've proven time and time again they have their finger on the pulse of this game and affected dramatically.
Yeah, seriously.
But I did love that we had all the super fans entering in first because they were all like, "Nope, not me. After you, after you, after you." And then Tucker's like, "All right, I'll do it." And so
He
it's just
won it all along.
I like that it's worked its way into the episode, like the curse of it all.
I agree. And then immediately after, well, immediately, pretty close after that, they
Hmm.
then went out to the backyard, and both nights they were faced with a vote. And as I mentioned before, they were asked to vote whether they wanted to vote in Ainsley or not. And if you voted yes, you were eligible to compete in an upgrade competition where you would be able to get a power if you won. And the downgrade competition would be for anybody who voted against her. And I understand why they do this. I do. I have mixed feelings about it because if you're a Big Brother fan, you should know that if you're going to vote no for something and you're warned that there could be consequences, like there will legitimately be immediate consequences. And so that's why, like, I get why some people are like, well, they just made a bad decision. Like, they should just know the game. I agree. I just don't like punishing people for making the right choice. It's like, why would you want to add somebody to the game? It just doesn't
I mean, and it was not made clear on the episode, so we can now confirm what these downgrades. The downgrades were confirmed on the show. The upgrades are not. So we'll talk about all those.
I
But
hate
a lot of
the deep fake. I just have to say that we'll talk about it. I hate that they have a deep fake upgrade. I think it's so disgusting. It's horrible. It's
I strongly disagree. But
I hate it because of the way women like because of what women face as deep like with deep fakes all the time. Like we just had deep fake stuff with Taylor
oh, you're talking about the name.
in general, because I don't like the concept like that they're using something that is like used to hurt women, not just women. I mean, it can hurt anybody, but it's oftentimes
It's my
used to
understanding it's just an
exploit
invisible
women.
HOH. We've done that.
No, I understand. It's not that. It's that they're using a theme of something that is incredibly harmful to women as a whole.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I was like,
And I just think it's
I guess I just kind of ignored what they were calling it because they were just kind of calling it like an AI kind of thing. But I was like, oh, an invisible HOH. I love those.
I
Those
mean,
are
no, and so I do too. I'm not saying I dislike
okay.
the twist itself. What I'm saying is they could have literally picked any other name. There
Okay.
are tons of other things they could have called it, and I think it's really disrespectful to do a deep fake HOH as like a power because it just feels icky to me.
Okay. No, so the downgrades though are ridiculous. We said this in Survivor
I hate it.
before, where your votes are everything in the game, but the downgrades are you don't get to compete in HOH, you don't get to compete for veto, and you don't get to vote. You are the BB mascot. And I think when, especially in week 1, 2, to take away someone's entire participation, it's giving camp. I'm blanking. Oh my gosh.
On what?
On Big Brother, Camp.
Oh, Camp BB.
Is that what they called it though? Where the 4 of them were just up there? They were evicted, but still in the house and
I
not
think
doing
so.
anything.
I hate it.
It was Camp something. Anyway, that's what it's giving, and it's kind of silly, but I don't like it. Don't like it at all.
I don't like either of them. Well,
but
I like the upgrades to some extent.
I love an invisible HOH. Love an invisible HOH. I love the America's veto because that's very interesting. So Mackenzie has America's veto, which means she can invisibly use an invisible veto and pull someone off the block. However, the replacement will be put up by America. Now, this is a fascinating power to me, and I'm excited to see it play out. If it does get played, because it is a very risky power to use unless you are confident that you and your allies are popular outside of the house, which is seemingly impossible to know.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I zoned for a second. Sorry.
No, you're good. So yes, now we assume it will work the same way as a veto. So Mackenzie herself couldn't be an option for America to put up because she is the veto holder in this instance. However, one of her allies could get put up, and that is just a risky move to make and risky power to have. And I find it's very interesting. I love when we get to vote and have some kind of influence on the game. I am loving that, and again, I love an invisible HOH, and I love this for Quinn. So I'm excited that power is in the right hands.
I hope you know it's literally that I just hate the name and what they're doing. Like
that's
how
what I asked. I said, is it just the name?
Well, it's the name and how they're theming it around it. But I do love an invisible HOH. It's just like when they're like, ho. It's like, oh, deepfakes are so harmful to society.
They couldn't call it the cloud again because then they're just ripping from old.
No, they really. To be fair, I think they just screwed themselves by using all their good names for a BB20, and then they were just like, "Shit, what are we doing now? Okay, I guess we'll just do the deep fake." It's like, pick something else. Yeah, so BB mascots or BBAI mascots. It's just I've never been a fan of taking, like you were saying, taking somebody's game away from them right off the bat. It's so frustrating. But then come to the live feeds. This is a little bit of a live feed spoiler for you. And we're probably honestly entering live feed spoilers at this point. Anyways.
Well, no, I want to talk about the Ainsley of it all.
Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, like, we'll probably
Yeah.
still be like talking a little bit about
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
But we get the live feeds and we find out that the house guests have kind of just agreed that they don't want to go after the downgraded players this week because they're like, yeah, we'd like to make sure like they get a fair chance, which I think is I don't disagree with. Not great gameplay.
This was a note I had for today's episode because Tag brought up a good question. Tag, Survivor Tag, we love Tag, had Tag on the show before. Also has incredible BB merch out. So if you want to go check that out, shoptag.com/Sarah Talks for a discount. But anyway, a little shameless plug there. So anyway, Tag had the question as like a new viewer of Big Brother. Good observation is you wouldn't want to win the first HOH, would you? Because it could be a threat. And this is something that gets brought up all the time. It gets brought up in people's preseason interviews and in the DRs. And we're going to probably see a lot of that in tonight's episode, in the Sunday night episode, where people say whether or not they want to win the first HOH. There are very, very clear advantages and disadvantages to winning the first HOH. And one of the major advantages of winning first HOH is you are able to set the tone for the house and kind of the acceptable social structure. So in a game like this, when you could potentially have downgraded players throughout that do not have power, being the HOH and kind of establishing like they're kind of off limits because they already have it so bad, could potentially set you up that if you are in the same position, it's just not socially acceptable at that point to nominate downgrade players. So it is like there's a very clear advantage, and the biggest advantage of getting first HOH is being able to set those standards. And I feel like Angela did that in this HOH, and that's going to help, especially with this diverse group. And I'm going to go on record and say it. It seems so far we are getting equitable comps this season.
Yes, we are. You want to know one critique I do have is I wish the upgrade comps were a little bit more equitable to each other and the downgrade comps were a little more equitable to each other, but I'm not saying that they're not equitable at all. Like, I do agree. I think it's like, because like the color spinning competition, no way. I would have botched that so fast because I
would have nailed that one.
But I can't spin in a chair. I'd just be sitting there going, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, blue, red.
Now, I don't think I would have done well in the chip upgrade one with the moving room.
I agree.
I feel like if I just can't my equilibrium, I feel like I wouldn't have done well at that one. I feel like I would have done well at the facial recognition, which is where they push their face up to the disc, and the color calibration. And then, of course, putting your head in the tube where you're encased in glass that will protect you from the scary things that you're just forced to look at. I would have been great at that. However, I don't like the amount of time they did, like the timing of that one. Like it was just so tight. And I get it. It was a live show. Well, to them, live show. They recorded it live. But I get like the timing aspect of it, but 90 seconds did not seem like a lot of time to do those 4 words, plug in, and then run to a button. However, I'm excited for these comps, and for what it sounds like from the way the house guests are talking. I mean, Angela won HOH, and spoiler, because I got the spoiler banner down, Lisa won veto. So like, I will go on. This is the first time since Big Brother season 8 that women have won the first 2 the first week of competitions in the show.
Mm-hmm. It shows that you can have
Big Brother
competitions. God forbid. It's welcome. It's far too late for this to have happened, though. Like,
I was just saying. I think that this conversation keeps coming up, and it's came up a lot after last season and the jag of it all and the cam of it all. And then the successive reindeer games. I mean, Rob and all them looked at me like I was crazy when I dialed in on the pressure cooker bringing this up. But I mean, I felt like I was being a little overly optimistic here, and I might still be, but so far, like there's a pattern, and I'm liking it. And hopefully, production can see that if you can have a player like Angela win your first HOH and a player like Lisa win the POV, and it give you the kind of feeds that we've been getting this week, then why would you not want to continue that momentum? Our best HOH last season was Felicia's HOH.
I could say potentially, if we're looking back at like what happened last season, too much content, because they couldn't even put a storyline together last year because so much was going on. And I feel like that could be part of what they would want to, if they, just to hypothetically answer your question, like I think that would be probably the only thing, is like if they're like, whoa, too much momentum, we have too much, we can't put it. And like there, I wouldn't be surprised if that at that point they wanted to rein stuff in with whatever AI twists they have up their sleeve. But I'm not necessarily saying that that's what they're going to do, because I think right now they've got a lot of really good content. Everybody's really excited because this is like old school Big Brother vibes that we're getting right now. Like it's not the kinds of stuff like we've already seen a fight, but like it's a fight that we would have seen like in like BB6 or BB8 or BB10.
Yes.
Not BB19, BB16, BB21. I'm sorry, like none of that is not like that. And I've been really enjoying these feeds because these are fun feeds. These are the kinds of feeds that we have been missing for years. Now, I want to be clear. We had fun with last year's feeds. I'm not saying that we didn't
until Izzy left
at the beginning. But but to be clear, it was very different because it was to me, it still very much felt like the new school style was still reigning
this
supreme.
feels very old school BB, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, and I love it. Speaking of old school, though, can we just talk about Ainsley for a minute? By the way, the actress that plays Ainsley, fucking stunning.
Oh yeah,
stunning. But when she morphed in, we saw. Here's my thing: we saw the 4K screen and Julie's whole ass body in 4K on the screen. Why does Ainsley's AI form look like a GIF I had on my MySpace?
I don't know. It's classic BB in terms of like we get something in a promo where we're like, this is gonna be a fantastic twist, and then we get it and it's like a downgraded version. I can't find the right words, but it's just like
maybe they're going for like the upgrade comps that the team did. Like maybe she'll get better and more clear.
Maybe she upgrades as the season goes along. Because
also she's starting at the bottom of the barrel.
Julie also mentioned that she has glitches or something like that. I can't remember what she specifically what she said, but maybe Ainsley does morph throughout the season, and then it's like, oh, but we have another problem with the AI.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be.
Either way, let's just talk about what we do know about the BB arena. It gives them a chance to take themselves off the block, I believe. Now, this is kind of what I'm picking up on. So, Sarah, you can obviously correct me if you've heard different. But it sounds like it is just the 3 noms.
Okay.
An opportunity to play, but like it's very vague, not vague, but until we can get better information.
I have a pretty clear picture, and I've been able to piece together a pretty clear picture. So with the current twist as it is, the HOH will be responsible for nominating 3 people. We will keep it at 3. There is not a 4th nom. It will be at 3 people. There are 3 people nominated. They will go on to play a veto, just like normal. The veto player will win, pull themselves down, pull somebody off. The HOH will replace the nominee, going into AI Arena with 3 players. The winner of the AI Arena will come off the block, leaving us 2 final nominees for eviction night.
That makes sense. It's not that I didn't know that either. I just my brain. So
it has been very, very scattered. It's been very, very all over the place. What we do know, there was some confusion about the HOH not being able to participate in veto. We did find out that she misspoke, and they were talking about HOH not being able to compete in the AI Arena. The AI Arena will have no additional players. It is just the 3 nominees.
Yes.
So
Kind of like Battle of the
Angela,
Block.
did you want me to go over the nominees and like the current standings?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Angela has nominated, with her intended target at first being Kenny. She nominated Kenny, Chemo, and Lisa. I'm gonna pull them up, this graphic up just to help you out here. The HOH is Angela. She's our blonde mom over here from the top left, and then moving from left to right, we have Kenny, Lisa, and Chemo as our 3 nominees. As you can see, from we talked about already in the episode, Lisa did win the Power of Veto. It was a spelling comp. It was a classic BB. We haven't seen it in a long time, spelling comp, where they had to run out, get letters, come back, spell a word correctly. Love that comp. Absolutely love that comp. So I'm excited to get to see that. We'll be able to see that on Wednesday night's episode. But Lisa has won, and now you're probably wondering, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Angela started her HOH with wanting to have meetings. She had lots of one-on-ones, lots of HOH meetings, getting a feel for everybody. Everybody was collectively saying that they did not feel good about Kenny. Kenny has been reserved, has kept to himself. We seemingly only see him talk on the feeds with Matt and Cedric. He doesn't do a lot of social gaming. He has been playing low, too low, if you ask me, especially with this dynamic of a house. So his name was getting thrown around a lot. Now, once he was nominated, he continued to lay low and just keep his cool. Lisa did not. Lisa was extremely vocal, extremely emotional, very upset, went off on Angela, kind of went on a tour. Lisa is something. Yeah, she is something. She was very, very upset about her nomination, and boy has that changed since. And Chemo, it's just the same thing. Chemo, no one could really get a feel for him, but everybody likes him. So Angela just felt like he was a safe nom to put up on the block. Nobody was going to vote him out, and he wasn't going to like come for Angela afterward. So that's kind of where her headspace was. Now, how this has changed. There is a very, very obvious and clear grouping between Mackenzie, and Mackenzie is the second row, second to the right, second to the left.
Second in.
Second in. Yeah, red shirt. That is Mackenzie. She also goes by MJ, so don't get confused on the feeds. They call her MJ. So MJ and Matt, denim jacket, first on the third row, from the left. They are very clearly a grouping, potential showmance. We don't know. But right above Matt, you'll see the one that looks just like Brittany Haynes. That is Leah. And Leah, Mackenzie / MJ, and Matt are kind of like a trio, right? Then there's a whole bunch of alliances going on basically everywhere else, right? Matt, I will say this, there's a lot of controversy about what happened, what led up to this, but I will say this, Matt is overall his tone is very threatening when he is speaking.
I'd say condescending.
He's very condescending, but when he was talking to Angela, he did say in the HOH room, like, don't put me up. You can't put me up because everybody wants to work with me. And so you're going to have everybody coming after you and everybody's going to be mad at you. And then I will get HOH and you can't compete next week and I'll just come after you. And it was very threatening. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It rubbed her the wrong way, but she took it. She was crying. Like doesn't take much to get Angela to cry. Lisa had her sobbing. And so then, but we're noticing that this is kind of Matt's, the way he speaks to people in the house. Later on, post Angela blow up, which we'll go into in a minute, you'll see Joseph walk in the room and Matt is meeting. I shared this clip on Twitter if you want to go see it, where Matt was immediately like, did you say something to Angela? Because if I get outside of this house and find out I will never fucking speak to you again. And like, that's just how he speaks to people. And nobody liked him. Everybody was down except for MJ and Leah. Everybody was pretty much down. Like if we wanted to shift the target to Matt, Angela has been keeping a very close eye on the storage room, which is where Matt loves to hang out and hold secret meetings. So for the first few days, Angela's noticing all these secret meetings and Matt is constantly talking. Matt never stops talking. kind of like me on this podcast right now. I'm so sorry.
You are fine. I am, for people who don't know, I'm like half dead today, so I'm just letting her take the reins when she wants, and I'm just, yes, ma'am. Whatever.
So Angela has been watching the storage room very closely, and Matt loves to hold meetings. And Matt was holding meetings up until like 4 or 5 a.m. Matt was getting like a couple hours sleep because of all the fucking meetings he was having, right? So it was becoming very clear that Matt was just coming in too hot and gaming way too hard. So the vibe started shifting. Now, leading up to the big thing yesterday morning, right before that, a bunch of people were coming up to Angela's HOH, genuinely wanting to work with her, like Quinn. Quinn not only wants to genuinely work with Angela, but he actually confided in her and only her about his secret power. And it's the only person he's told in the house. I think in this moment, Quinn genuinely wanted to work with Angela. Okay. Then there was a few other meetings. And people were just coming up and talking to Angela. Angela did not sleep at all. Okay. Angela has not been sleeping. And Angela is getting the quickest case of BB brain I have seen since Paloma. And it's manifesting in a very super fan like way. It's manifesting in a way that I can absolutely see happening to me. Not the blow up part this early in the game so much, but like thinking every single person that comes up to my room is lying to my face. And that has manifested in her brain as Matt and all his minions are lying through their teeth to get me to be comfortable with them so that they can take me out the next week. And then what Matt told her replayed in her brain. She doesn't like it. So she spent the whole evening, Friday evening, in her bed rehearsing what she would say. A lot of people didn't pay any mind to it on the feeds because we just thought she was just talking to herself or talking in her sleep because she does that. She also punches in her sleep. But comes Saturday morning, we are all just waking up,
Gagged.
getting our caffeine, throwing on the feeds to have in the background as we prepare for our day. I'm not even out of bed yet. I am literally topless in my bed, so I can't go live on TikTok without it was wild. Wild. Okay. And then we hear Matt, and then everyone else starts clapping. We find out later everyone started clapping because they thought Angela was coming down the stairs starting to perform and to sing. She was coming down to perform. It was not for music. Okay. It was not for music. So everyone started quickly clapping. And then you hear, I think it was Joseph say, "What did you do?" Like, and everyone at this moment is still thinking Angela, like there's some kind of joke or parody thing about to happen. Angela monologues the most incredible chef's kiss of a house type meeting up from the staircase, looking down on her servants, attacking Matt for threatening her, a woman twice her age, how cool that makes her to her grandkids, how she loves everyone. She's had the best time in the house. Except like I love everyone except for you. You don't talk to me, but I love everyone. And I can't encourage you enough to go see it. I'm trying to figure out how to upload it to our YouTube. I have the whole clip, the whole thing. I'm trying to like get it because it was 3 recordings, so I'm trying to get it all together in one. But anyway, I highly recommend. You've probably seen it by now. It was team fun feeds 1,000%. She talked about how sleep deprived she was. She talked about how the acting skills on people. I think this whole thing, everyone knew. She didn't say anything that we didn't know. She didn't say anything that everyone knew she was not okay with Matt. Everyone knew, even Matt knew, like he was in hot water with her. I think what this all was really was kind of her passive aggressive way at not completely confronting the Matt followers while still confronting them. That's what I think happened here. And it was very, very entertaining. The whole day yesterday was everyone talking about this. and consoling Matt, and Matt was crying and reading the Bible, and Angela went on an apology tour that was so long that it went into like 2 a.m. this morning. But yeah, I think Angela is going to have a hard time coming out of this one. Matt was the replacement nom for Lisa. Her idea that has not happened yet. I'm sorry, Angela's replacement nom to replace Lisa with. It has not happened yet. Lisa has now morphed into like an assistant HOH at this point, and her and Angela are super close. And I'm sorry, I'm so monologuing now, like Angela. So sorry, Abigail.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
Trying to make sure. It's been a lot. It's been so much. It's just been everything. Lisa has morphed in from not liking being on the block and being so upset about and thinking she was never, ever going to touch the block. That's what she said. She was never going to touch the block, to now being so grateful that she did, because now she's won the veto. And what a great little redemption arc for her winner package story at the end of the season. And she's giving people tips and tricks, and this is what you need in your story, and this is what I recommend to you. Like, she's become just the big brother survivor and the winner of BB26, and she is here to mentor the rest of the peasant house guests. And it's wild. I was not pumped preseason for this cast, but so far,
I knew this cast was going to be good. I got the vibes. It was from not their photos, but from their interviews. I'm excited to see what more we get from them. It seems like we could possibly have fun feeds for most of the season. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this kind of moves forward. There's obviously naturally like a bunch of alliances that this is going to bump up against, and like everybody's kind of still trying to get their bearings. But I say that because it's an interesting time for Angela to have this little outburst, because she also said during the outburst, like I say a bunch of stuff, like, and I can't remember exactly how she said it, but she was just basically saying like, I can go crazy sometimes. And it's like, yeah, that's probably not something, like, people are already witnessing it. Probably not something that you want to tell your fellow house guests, because it's not gonna vibe well with them. But what really bugged me about Matt's response, because like, I mean, his response was valid in a lot of ways because it caught him off guard and he was like, what? But it was just very much like, I don't even know if I want to say it the martyr card, but it was just like, I'll just quit. I'll just go home. I guess this is just not worth it anymore. And it's like, then get out. I'm sorry. The second the word quit comes out of someone's mouth, it turns me off. And now I understand there are certain situations where I'll look at it and be like, look, no, you just have a lot going on. Like, I know you just want to escape this, but like, you don't, like, there are times deeper in the game when that happens, and it's like, no, you just are dying in your brain. And we get it. But when it is this early, like, how is he going to handle another fight if another fight breaks out? Like, he even said himself, I'm clearly not built for this. It's like, well, no offense, I don't think you are. If you are so hurt by a fight that you want to quit the game.
No, and he would never. His ego would never. Like,
no, but it still bugs
me. I have it does same, and I have the hardest time like listening to him on the feeds.
And then they ended up delaying the veto so long because all he was doing was just going around moping, and I think they were waiting for him and Mackenzie to say something like really important. It's like, please just get us to the veto. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Just enough.
What's like, they keep putting the camera on him. Yeah, I get it. He's dramatic, but Quinn's trying to talk to us. Okay. Quinn has had multiple instances of trying to do camera talks, and they keep fucking cutting away. Like, we love Quinn.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad.
So Quinn's doing a lot behind the scenes right now, and it's not in terms of like Like, I don't even know how much we're gonna see on the episodes because of all of the drama that has happened. Just trust us if they don't do that, that Quinn is working their magic right now. And it is very fun to watch because it's the seeds that are being planted for later in the game. And so, like, it's not a lot of dramatics going on their end right now. It is just very much setting the scene and understanding that the events going on in the house are going to have an impact on their game no matter what, even if they weren't directly in that argument. And they're doing a really, really good job of it. I'm really, really, really thrilled.
I think Quinn's doing a fantastic job and is doing a great job integrated. I don't know how much screen time he's going to get on the episode. Just know Quinn is working. Actually, Quinn, I love this little pairing. Quinn, Lisa, and who else? Oh, I have the photo.
He's working hard with T-Core right now, which I really enjoy. I feel like those two could be a strong
and Leah.
duo.
Quinn, Leah, and Lisa were all charging moon water last night under the full moon.
So funny. Oh my God. I love it so much.
I'm just so here for that. And I know that, like, if they don't know this, you wouldn't know this by, like, looking at him unless he says something. Like, knowing that Cam would totally be out there too.
Oh, yeah.
Cam's a crystals guy, and you would not know
so funny
looking at him. I'm just loving it. But someone tweeted this photo of Quinn, Leah, and Lisa charging their moon water, and like, I need them to form an alliance called the Coven. And I was like, yes.
Love it.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
I was not on for Leah before, and I am now. Like, Lisa's gonna, y'all, I know say what you want. Y'all might find Angela annoying. You might find Lisa. You're like, oh, they're smiling. They need to go. No, you are gonna fucking miss these people. Just like you missed Izzy. Just like you missed Caitlin Herman. Just like we are Team Fun Feeds. Do not vote out or affect. They don't. They don't.
We're not saying sit here and root for them. It's actually a problem if you don't. It's just like, but if you're rooting for them to go, are you actually rooting for, like, fun?
Yeah, exactly. Because do y'all remember how sleep deprived Abigail and I were, and how chaotic our updates were up until Izzy left the house, and how short our episodes got after that?
Oh, like, it's a noticeable drop.
It's a crazy drop.
It was insane. Oh. Like, that's what I have hope for these feeds this year. Frustrating part really has still been not having flashback. I mean, I know it's something that happened. Like, they didn't always have flashback before, and I know. But we're in a different age of technology, and to not have that has been such a force. It's been such a problem. Like, I'm struggling in certain parts to keep up with certain portions of the game, because it's like, well, I can't sit here and read 50 recaps and watch 100 videos. I have a life that I'd like to go do. And you want to know what I could do when I was doing life stuff? I could go back and watch the live feeds and do that. But I can't just do that with Twitter videos, because I have to scroll to every video and I have to go find the different things. And like, so there's a lot of people who are very snarky, and and there are some people who are very genuine. There are a lot of people on TikTok, when we were talking about it, that were very snarky, just being like, just put up a camera and record all night. Yeah, that's realistic on my laptop that I have the space for. Like, a lot of these people, like a lot of people who aren't live feeders, just kind of didn't understand how significant a move this is. So I don't know. It's just, that part has not been enjoyable still, and I'm a little flustered knowing that we have such great feeds right now that we can't go back and be able to watch these things, because there's so many important conversations going on. There are so many times Quinn has been having a really important conversation, but I choose to go away because there's legitimate drama that's still existing right now that I'm trying to still keep up with. It gets so exhausting sometimes, because it's like, I'd like to listen to strategy sometimes. I'd like to be able to go back and listen to that conversation, but I guess I can't. It's really frustrating, because, like, thanks for giving us 2 sets of feeds, but, like, is it really going to help us if, like, both are hot at the same time and we can't go back? Like, I'm just still very frustrated and flustered by that. That is not been
Like right
fun.
now, we obviously can't watch the feeds, even though they are up on my monitor right here, and I have the the transcription going. But like it's why, especially like if you're gonna cast this like cast of crazy characters, we're gonna need to be able to view all four cameras. And like what I mean by that is we typically will watch or listen to a conversation happening on cameras 1 and 2, and then be able to rewind and go back and see what we were missing on 3 and 4. For example, right now, it looks like Matt has gotten himself up off the potential nominee spot. Angela and him are having a one-on-one in the bathroom, which is kind of a weird spot, just because it's so public and open. But she just told him, I don't want to put you up. I want you to be here to tell your story, because he was telling her about his mom and all this stuff. So he played on her heartstrings. He got himself saved, it seems. So like this is a prime example. This is crazy.
Because who is she going to go for afterward? Like, that's the thing. And so I'm not saying you're wrong. I do think that there's a chance, but it's like, I think she's thinking about it, but then I don't
It's
think
week one. She's not
like
she's not super close to anybody. She even said, so her thought process to Lisa up in the HOH room was, Kenny's gonna go. I have to put someone up. We want it to be like all guys. If it's not Matt, then Matt and his people are still gonna come after me next week anyway. But maybe I could at least try. We just need it. Right. Who would the other guy be? And to be honest with you, if I like really thinking about it, I could see her potentially putting Joseph up.
Which I think is a mistake. He's been a big ally of hers this entire beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, or potentially Cam. She's not super duper close with Cam, but she could also position herself thinking like, well, if it's a physical comp, he could potentially like win it and come off against, leaving Chemo and Kenny up, and Kenny would be going home.
Right.
But that's just me trying to get Angela's mindset here. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know how I feel about the 3 noms. I don't know how I feel about any of these twists. I feel like the live feeds did a way better job explaining all of this to us than they did, for the night 1 and 2 premiere.
And even still, we're still trying to piece stuff together. We're like, oh,
wow. I'm not totally sold out of this year yet. I was not excited moving into the season. Obviously, you guys know, like, if you saw my video and I went to the premiere party, and I remembered why I'm still doing this, and it's not for the show. It's for our BB family and all of our listeners and you guys and our little weirdo community that we have. And so you guys are like just relit the fire in me to keep doing this. And on the other hand, like if we will see if this is true, if Big Brother really is going to give us more equitable comps and finally start listening to us in that regard, and we're not going to have another repeat of last season, I'm hopeful this could potentially save them. Because if not, if things don't change, I don't see us making it to Big Brother 28.
I mean, I could see us possibly getting to 30, but that 30 would be the last. And they'd be like, surprise, it's the end. And then it'd be something like a lame gimmick, like the legends compete one last time or something like that. And I don't know. But so far, this has given me more hope. My only drawback is last season I felt very much the same at the beginning with how good the feeds were. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I do think this could really do wonders, but
I had no problem with the feed last season. Obviously, they were a lot more interesting with Izzy. I had no problem in that regard. It was the gameplay itself was so tainted by the physicality of the competition.
Oh, totally.
That I didn't enjoy it at all. So if, like, on the other hand, if we can get same feeds, it looks to be a more potential to have even more chaotic feeds this season. And then on the other hand of that, if the gameplay itself is going to be more even keeled with the tone that's already been set, then like that's the reason I'm more optimistic about this season.
Totally. Me too. Well, we've covered a lot in this episode. Obviously a little shorter than we would have liked originally, but more just because they gave us a bunch of nothing for the first two.
We got the same episode 2 times in a row. And you know what? We could sit here and dish and say, like, these people came in the house first and then these people play. But y'all watched the episode. You watched it. So I feel like you let us know in the comments and this if you like this format better. I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like we got everybody up to the same, like up to speed. I feel like we gave you the meat and we had conversations and stuff. And of course, like we would again, I saw this question from Tag and I told her, I was like, I'm going to bring it up on the pod because it's such a great talking point. But if you have something like that you want us to discuss, but I just feel like, I think we all feel, and Abigail and I met before the season started, that we just want to prioritize like talking about what you want us to talk about, not recapping the shit that you already saw. Let's talk about what we saw. Let's talk about what things that you might not have seen. And that's kind of all just put this mad, crazy Caitlin puzzle together.
But if you do not have anything else, then I think it is time to wrap up this episode of Wicked Unscripted. So if you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. We are regularly posting on our TikTok accounts, especially now that Big Brother season is live. So make sure you check us out over there. It's Abigail Adams, Sarah Talks Reality, and Wicked Unscripted. And make sure you go over there. I'm going to be posting our winner's draft picks on the Wicked Unscripted page tonight, meaning it'll be up for you tomorrow when you're listening. We'll be posting more clips of the show as this season goes on and stuff like that. What's up?
Speaking of winner picks, oh my gosh, my voice just went out. We didn't go over the draft. Can we share the draft? The graphics?
We talked about the draft last week.
Yeah, so we have this graphic now. It's available on the BB Bible. Again, if you're interested in the BB Bible, let us know. You can send us an email. And we can help you get set up with it. But yeah, all of these graphics are now available on the BB Bible. This is our draft. It will be updated throughout the season. And then we have alliance maps that we've put together for you. These are going to be ever changing every single day. These things change. Yeah. I mean, it even did notable duos in here. We only have one confirmed final two in Tucker and Joseph, but we do have some other duos that have agreed to like work together and have each other's back. But again, we will be updating these regularly on the BB Bible. Links will be in the alliance map in there. So take a look and you don't want to miss out on it. So email us and let us know if you want to get that.
Yes, BB Bible is a must, especially if you're following us. But in the meantime, if you want to ask us a question, share your thoughts, leave us a tip, any of that good stuff, email the podcast at wickedunscriptedpod, pod is spelled P-O-D, at gmail.com. That's wickedunscriptedpod at gmail.com. We're always looking for fresh and diverse voices to join the conversation. And with that, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, and BB is back. I think I said that last time, but back now. Bye.
Bye.